You are tuning in to Talk Wave Radio. This is your host, Timothy Preston. I'm glad that you guys could join me. Well, I just want to take a bit of your time to talk about the fiscal cliff, and I want to touch on corporations. Now, it seems like people are putting too much stock into politicians. People are putting too much trust in what our government is supposed to do. When I sit back and I hear men and women talking about this fiscal cliff, they're still trying to play a blame game when I'm seeing clearly both sides are playing the American people. I mean, I'm sick of the backroom deals. I'm sick of the behind closed doors. I'm sick of every day, 24/7, they're telling you, oh, be scared, you might have to pay so much more money. Oh, be scared, this plan is screwing up the American people. Oh, this plan is going to destroy and bankrupt the country. We're already bankrupt. We've been bankrupt since the 1930s, the 1920s. If you can't sit down and come up with a plan, why is it so hard for politicians to come up cuts in spending when the average American can holler what needs to be cut and what can be cut, and they're okay with it being cut? Who made politicians more intelligent than us, more educated than us? They go to the same schools we go to. We're just not sold out. But some of us are. I'll talk about that when we get to corporations. But we should not be in a position where we do not know what's going on for days, for weeks. And all you do is come out and take turns. Well, we're working on it, but we don't see a plan. They're stonewalling us, and then the other people going, well, they're stonewalling us, and people don't want to give cuts to middle class poor people. There is no middle class. And then some want to get benefits and keep all the loopholes and provisions for the upper 2%, the 1%, 2%, 3%. Listen, if you're rich, you should pay the same thing we're paying. I'm not asking for nothing more. It doesn't come from taxing everybody all of this money. It's called quit spending money on all of this crap. Think about it. You hear Alex Jones running around hooping and hollering. They bought 7 million rounds and 150,000 million rounds and all of this. Okay, you got enough bullets. You don't need to buy any more. What's the deal? Use what we got. We got drones. We got planes. What? Oh, because it's benefiting Boeing or Smith & Wesson or Taurus. I don't understand why we can't be asked. You got a website to make us watch you bash your political opponents, from local government all the way up to federal, nationwide. So why is it a problem to have a website asking the people? I haven't seen a politician walk into my place of work and ask anybody anything. I have not seen them standing out on the corner asking anybody anything. I haven't seen them say, hey, every week or every 2 weeks we're going to have a meeting. Y'all can come and ask some questions and I can let you know what's going on. I don't see any of that. Whatever happened to that? See, when you ask for the old thing back, Because a lot of people said they want to go back to the old America. If you really think about it, ladies and gentlemen, America was built on falsified information. America was built on a lie. And you say, what do we mean? Well, all the way back from Columbus. Columbus wasn't the first one to discover America. The Moors was traveling hundreds of years before. The country was actually inhabited by another population. This was their home. Thanksgiving. Oh, we came together and we ate very well, and they helped us and fed us, and we shared what we had and fed them, and then we slaughtered them and took everything. They leave that part out. Y'all honor and y'all speak very highly of George Washington, and I'm not knocking him. You know, he helped make America and put America together, but he was a Masonic Grand Master of some sort. He had power in the Masonic League. That's why we have Masonic symbolism everywhere. That's a problem. Those are one of the number one enemies of the human population. Period. So let's look at what we're talking about when you say you want America built. And then you say Abraham Lincoln, because they're pushing Abraham Lincoln as this wonderful person. He freed the slaves. He cared about the poor and things like that. The only reason why the Civil War pretty much went down the way it went is because America was losing money and the South was monopolizing because they had free labor. Everybody else through the country worked and built and put together their stuff. The South, they use Africans to build their wealth, to build their power structure, to build their higher class. And when they were saying, hey, we can't survive like this as a nation, all hell broke loose. So what is the best way to break the South? The South know they lost. They lost the fight. But what else did you do to the South? The crippling blow. You took their workforce. Therefore, they had to surrender, adjust, and acclimate to what America wanted. So when we sit back and we watch these politicians and all the way up to this fiscal cliff, what are we going to do? And you got y'all so worried and y'all want to go and bug out and hunker down. And when I say it should be a camera in there, you know what? When people can go behind closed doors, they can go sit back and watch goddamn BET for all I know. I don't know what the hell they doing back there. I know no work is being done. But if you have a camera there where I can sit down and watch online, on television, if everybody can watch you work and say, hey, Obama, you was on some bullshit, or hey, Boehner, you was on some bullshit, then we can address that. But then if you had that website that I'm always talking about, you've been hearing me talk about for years, if I had that website, then I could go and type in right there and say, hey, what are you doing? You messing up. You want some BS. But no. It got to be so private. Why? Because corporations are watching the TV too. They get the information. That's why the stocks go up and down. That's why gold prices go up and down. That's why silver is out the roof. That's why water is out the roof. That's why electricity and energy is out the roof. Because they know before we know. We the last people to know, but they supposed to be working for us. They supposed to represent the people, but the people who will walk around in life, in a house, not knowing if the gas is on, not knowing if the water is running and the thing is plugged. They walk around with blinders, waiting for somebody else to come in and say, hey, I think gas is leaking. Well, how do you know? Well, because your living room and kitchen and dining room is on fire. Oh, well, what are we going to do? Come on, man. You work for us. But yet we are the last people to know what y'all come up with. And then it's like, ask the people. If you have 100 people, and only 2 of them say, hey, we want to have all our loopholes and leave everything just like it is. And the other 98 say, hey, we need to just make it fair. I don't want your money, but let's make it fair. Why are you the only person who basically controls the food that comes through and is grown in this country? The farming community is down to 1 to 2 to 3%. But big agriculture corporations got 80-90% of it. Some of our goods come from other countries because we like exotic foods and fruits and fish and things of that nature. Where they spray it with some kind of freeze-dried something to make it look so wonderful, so good. But we're in the closet. Nobody asked me what I wanted. Obama ran the campaign, didn't ask me one time what I wanted. How you know what I want? But I'm voting for it, but you didn't ask me. So I'm voting on what you saying you're going to put on the table.